Hi everyone. Today's video has 3 points and you're going to want to stick around because the third point is a secret as to the absolute most effective way to get your book selling. So the topic we're discussing today is, are you failing to sell your books? Now, when you put your book onto the market, you've spent all of this time writing the book and editing the book, finding the perfect cover, getting the title in place, figuring out the formatting issues, and you put the book onto the market and you're ready to start seeing the sales coming in. But the problem is you're seeing absolutely nothing. It's just crickets. Maybe a sale here or a sale there, but the book is of such high quality that everyone would clearly wish to purchase your book, but they aren't. Therefore, you're going to want to stick around because I'm going to discuss this very common experience that writers have when putting books onto the market. So let me get into it. This is Chris Baird from selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com, where self-publishing doesn't have to be so hard. Hit the subscribe button if you find these videos helpful, and that's how you tell me that I should continue making videos like these as we race towards 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube. And check out below in the description and grab a copy of my absolutely free self-publishing checklist to make sure that you're not skipping any of the secrets necessary to win at self-publishing. So let's get started. Expectations dashed. Well, when I was 7, I was flipping through the newspaper one time, back in the days before I would just read online, but as I was going through the pages, you get to the back of the newspaper, and there's lots of little advertisements, and I saw one of them where it was advertising a toy gun. Just a little gun, nothing particularly dangerous. It was just a harmless little gun, but they were advertising it, and it looked very, very fancy. I imagined how much fun it would be to play with this thing since the photo made it so unbelievably fancy, and the way that the style and the way that they described it, the sales copy, kind of like what I talk about when doing your advertisements for your books. And so they sold me and I purchased this gun. So I placed the order and I was waiting for it to come in the mail, and the anticipation was building up. Now the thing is, when it arrived, it was much smaller. It was just this little teeny gun. It wasn't anything to be particularly proud of. I was thinking this was not at all what I had ordered. And as a result, I even saw that the material itself was cheap, the size was cheap, it didn't quite live up to the description. I was disappointed on many fronts there, and the thing is the end result for me was that it was the last time I ordered anything out of the newspaper, and my hopes were completely dashed with regards to making this order. Because I had the expectation of one thing that would happen, which is I would place the order and I would go through this series of steps to get this thing ordered, and then I would receive it, and it would bring that feeling and sensation that you have when you get something that you've been waiting for as it came in the mail, but then it was completely shattered. And this happens all too often with writers, where you have an expectation that your book that you've written, it's going to result in the feeling of knowing that, wow, look at this thing selling and people are very impressed with the book that you've put out, and or it's very entertaining or it's solving people's problems, but then nobody purchases the book. So how exactly are they supposed to get the value out of this? And this happens all the time. So are you failing to sell your books? Well, the first thing is you need to know is you are not alone. Most authors and writers make very few sales when it comes to their books. You first take your book and you release it onto the market, and you have that expectation that it's going to sell. But the problem is it simply has a number of issues, and there's a whole series of reasons it's not selling. And I'm going to help lay those out here so that perhaps you can fix some of them. But the second thing is you can increase the odds of your very first book hitting the market or your second book by simply optimizing the book, following all of the strategies that I teach here on this channel and teach my coaching students. And one of the keys to this is making sure that as you're going through your book production, that you're making sure that the cover is optimized to sell, that the title itself is properly optimized, and also the description, the look through, the author's page. There's all of these things, the formatting, the chapter headings, all of these things are going to impact how your book does when it hits the market. And if you aren't paying attention to these things, it's going to result in not seeing any sales. You can also run ads against it, but these are not the absolute top tips. Now, I can say that at least within the nonfiction category, if we're dealing with a very hot keyword, which I use KDSpy as my preferred tool to find that keyword, then we're making a promise to solve a problem. And if we optimize the book, we can see sales, large amount of sales very quickly. This is one of the things I had seen when I first got into the writing business and the self-publishing business. It was the beginning to understand that you have two different groups. You have writers who on their heart have a book that they wish to write, and for me it was getting ideas into the world. And you have another group who understand that Kindle is a very profitable platform, where if you're writing books that are specifically targeting underserved niches, there's a lot of money to be made off of your books, in particularly non-fiction. But the fiction books in the long run will make more money if you follow today's secret tip. And that is the third one, our third answer of the day. And it is that the best strategy is to build an audience, one book at a time, and use content marketing. And I've been pushing this for a long time. That's why I have a course below on content marketing, made easy to ensure that you can follow through on the steps to get your content out there onto the internet, and people will find you through the search engines, through Google and Bing and and Yahoo, and that they will come and visit your webpage, see your books and the offerings that you have, get on your email list, and be very excited to buy your books as they come out, to help you review your books as they come out, and all of these different things that are very useful when it comes to seeing our books do well on the market, and not just crickets like most writers experience. And then the most powerful tool we have then at this point is, as we're building up our email list, is, well, let's release another book. And that's why I say for most authors, it's a good idea to set aside time to write about 1,000 words a day so that you're getting out your books on a regular basis. A routine and a rhythm starts to emerge. Your readers expect it. You know that your favorite authors, when they write books, you're waiting for them to come out with it. They're always working on the next project. But at the same time, we're building up an audience. So the next book comes out and that audience is already ready, trigger fire, ready to jump and buy your book, so that your expectations start to align with the reality of the situation. You're going to come out with a book and you know you already have an audience, and so you're going to get that good match and not feel that disappointment like I did when I ordered that toy gun when I was 7. So that is the secret tip of the day. But my question for you is, are you failing to sell your books? If you are, write no below in the comments. And if you are not, you're selling lots and lots of books, then write yes below in the comments, and also tell me what difference it is, what you've done that has really helped you move the needle on getting the books to sell. And check above me here for more video answers to your self-publishing questions. Thanks.